Today I am here with the amazing Rick Randel from Randel Law, another executive base network member business. Rick, how are you doing today?
I'm great, David. How are you?
Very well indeed. Can you tell us a little bit about your business and what inspired you to start your business?
Well, I was always interested in business transactions and stock and things of that nature. And I started a kind of a fake corporation when I was in high school, and I sold stock in it, and I did a stock ledger and things like that. And that was really fun. And then, so when I got into law school, I decided I wanted to go into business corporate law. And my practice focuses on transfers of equity in businesses. So I help business owners share equity or ownership in their businesses with other parties, whether that be investors to raise capital or employees to retain and incentivize the employees, or selling shares to the key management team as part of the owner's exit plan, or in some cases, even selling the entire business to an outside buyer.
Wow, that sounds pretty niche, right? You're not.
Yeah.
How would you describe yourself as a general sort of three-word description? What is that focus?
Well, some people call me like that equity attorney.
Equity attorney, but it's specific to business.
Yeah.
That is your niche.
Right.
How do you differentiate yourself from competitors? Do you have competitors even, or are you so niche that you're the only one doing this, or do you
No,
have?
I have competitors, and I differentiate myself in a few ways. Number one is that I went to a top law school, and I was trained at a top big law firm in downtown San Francisco. But now I'm solo, so I have that training and that expertise, but I can offer it to clients at a much more reasonable rate. And I definitely try very hard not to over lawyer the deal and keep it as simple as possible and explain things as clearly as possible to the clients and the parties involved.
Cool. Yeah, and the clients, I presume, are always working with you directly. You're not handing them off to an intern somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
So with so many businesses going through transitions, what's kind of a common mistake you see founders or business owners make in these areas that have been avoided?
Well, I guess the most common mistake is waiting too long to plan and not getting started early, and then coming to me saying I want out in 2 months or 6 months. And another common kind of related mistake is not grooming someone to take over. A lot of business owners are somewhat reluctant to cede control or knowledge of the inner workings of their business to other members of the business, for either because they want to be hands-on, they want to make sure it gets done right, and they have a hard time delegating or trusting somebody else to do it right, or in some cases they just want to keep their cards close to the vest, and then so they get to a point in time where if something happens to them and they go away, then there's nobody there who knows the business and is able to run it.
Right. Yeah.
Or they haven't groomed it's like one owner at the top, and then there's admin people doing all the work, but nobody in between with the entrepreneurial desire and ability to run a business.
Right. So maybe identifying that person early and sort of grooming them along the way would be a good strategy. What's one piece of conventional legal wisdom that you think businesses should actively challenge?
One thing that they typically tend not to do is they don't want to do a term sheet or an outline of a transaction, go straight to the documents and use the documents themselves as an outline. And that's a waste of time and money. It's a waste of legal fees on their part, because it's much more efficient to get the terms of the transaction on bullet point fashion where everybody's on the same page, including the other advisors. I use a lot of the client's tax advisor is a really big member of the team, and in some cases other advisors as well. And then the other side of the transaction, get everybody on the same page first before you spend a lot of time and hours drafting the legal documents, which in some cases may just get discarded or completely rewritten if those terms are ultimately rejected.
Good advice for all business owners out there. So how would you say that your office space here at EBN, Executive Base Network, has contributed to your success?
Well, I would say the biggest way it's contributed is it gets me out of my house. into a place where I can focus.
Yep.
And get my brain into work mode.
Yes, we know the feeling. You're here.
Yeah.
You're here a lot, I would say.
Yeah, I am.
More than many.
And the team here helps a lot. Becky and Erica do a lot of my typing and data entry and things of that nature. And also, just I think it's good to have somebody else pick up the phone when a client or potential client calls and there's a receptionist. It gives you a sense of the business being established and professional.
Yes, I agree. In fact, it's funny. There's a guy who sits right above me here at my office who's a dentist, and he doesn't have a receptionist. He answers the phone himself. If he doesn't answer the phone, you just have to text him and you can set up an appointment. That's pretty funny. It makes you go, right, what's going on here? So I totally agree with you. Well, so what's your website and where can we go to learn more about Randel Law?
Well, my website is randellaw.com, and that's RANDELLAW. And also my LinkedIn profile is pretty full.
Rick Randel, search it on Google and pull up good stuff.
I do a blog, and if people are interested in certain topics, they can look at the list of blog posts on that section of my website.
Very nice. Very
and
nice.
even sign up to receive them.
Wow. You are a child of the present, I guess. Well, so Rick, thanks for spending some time with us today. Appreciate your time. I know you're a busy fella, and
you're welcome.
Continued success with Randel Law.
Thank you very much.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Okay.